Hello, here's Kramer's Corner with daily technical update on the forex markets, and I will add the gold and silver spot. Also at the end, we'll talk about interest rates, and we'll also talk about cryptocurrencies. Euro dollar bounced a little bit here this morning, still in this correction phase here, basically trading sideways in the cloud, but underlying bullish trend. With positive sentiment on the RSI. We have all moving averages below the market at the moment. If it can move above the spike up there at 117.85, then I think we'll see a push up towards 18.5, possibly up to around the level of around 19. Key support down here around 116.5, but it hasn't really moved much. So let's move on to sterling dollar. Sterling dollar, I think, will crawl higher here in the coming days. It's still in a bullish trend, above the cloud, above all moving averages. You can see 55 turning around here just above the 200, which could be a very strong signal if it continues, which it will do because we have the market up here. Positive sentiment indicating likely higher levels and expect to push up to 137 level fairly shortly, but again, time factor is really hard to predict. Euro sterling again opening lower, but it is very thin market in Asia, so it's very few trades, so I will be cautious, but still above 86, and that is key. That is the key support there, but we are in a bearish trend despite the bounce here the past few days. A new intervention apparently in the yen crosses, especially dollar yen. They hammer it down, and we can see that. Where did I hammer down from? Just around, we need to just do this, just around the 50% retracement area. They didn't really wait it until then, they just did it. So pushing it lower and dip below the 155.50 support, but then again bounced it when they put the foot off the pedal, so to speak. So a bounce here. Let's see, maybe next time if they will do it again, pushing lower towards 154 could be seen, and the 200 moving average. So they really mean business here with the yen when they do this. However, if it starts moving back above the peak from today and yesterday, well, then it could crawl back above the cloud up to 159 again, possibly a little bit higher, but I'm not quite sure. They seems to mean business. They want to hold dollar yen down there. Euro yen also affected, obviously, after touching 50% retracement of this sell-off there, dipping it below the previous support there. So now I can remove this, and let's see if they will do it once again and push it to 180.75 and possibly lower here to support around 179.75. So, but it is really hard to do proper analysis when you have a central bank that is so powerful, and when they do these stunts here. So let's see but again, it hasn't really, in the bigger picture, hasn't really moved much, but maybe it's just a signal that they say, okay, we are here, so don't play silly with us, and because we are the most powerful one, and they are extremely powerful with this move here. So moving on to Aussie yen. There has been other things in effect. Yes, it also obviously affected the Aussie yen, but not that much. Really didn't get anywhere. A lot of volatility intraday and overnight. Started actually last night and overnight here, and just below the this trend line, which I kept here, so because it seems to always coming back to it, but still bullish trend. And the reason for that is Aussie dollar that we are going to look at in a minute. Sterling yen also affected, but within these bounds here between the 61.8 retracement of this sell-off there at 214.25, dip below the cloud, but still in this elevated states here, and still positive sentiment on the RSI. So let's see, will they have another go and push it lower towards 210.14, sorry. That is of course debatable, but it has stopped the fairly strong uptrend here. So let's see. But if it crawls back above the peak from today at 214.25, then well, we could be looking at 215.25. And let's talk about Aussie dollar, because a move there, pushing higher and breaking this sideways range here, and is set to push towards 73, 161.8 projection is likely to be reached shortly, and possibly drawing higher. We have here on the weekly, we can see what it's doing. It is pushing higher here, and if we have to go really far back now, we are up in the territory around 73 and possibly higher for Aussie dollar, as long as it stays above 71. The dollar Canada, and let's see what's going on there. Not much, still bearish. Negative sentiment indicating we could see a dip lower. There's no sign that it will push into or turn into a bullish trend anytime soon. We also have the 55 and 200 moving average coming down here, both declining, pushing it lower. We are below the cloud. So maybe a little bit of a correction could take it up to 137, but there's a really strong resistance in that area. Moving on to Swiss franc, really not much talking about today. We had this spike down there yesterday that we should disregard. It's maybe just one or two updates. That is an error. Should have been filled out on the chart. So let's see what will happen here. EURSWISS, especially in the Asian session, extremely thin liquidity. So let's move on to dollar Swiss. It's a little bit more interesting. But also here, it's below the cloud here this morning, and I think it will crawl lower towards the 77.50 support area. Below the cloud, below the 100 moving average, and negative sentiment indicating likely lower levels, likely to push towards 76.50 in the near future. It won't happen overnight, maybe not even this week or anything, but it's just we are in a slightly bearish trend, but a lot of volatility due to the moves also in the Swiss franc, obviously, because the dollar is not moving much really. So, but in the bigger picture, if we're looking at the weekly chart, in the bigger picture, we are in a bearish trend, and it has been for quite some time. It's just pausing quite a bit. So keep an eye on dollar Swiss. I think it could suddenly move really. The dollar index overnight here has been pushing lower, below the cloud, and 99 was really a strong resistance, too strong. Negative sentiment, if RSI moves back below 40, which I believe it will, well, then we are likely to have lower lows. And taking out these two lows there at 97.57 and the spike down there at 97.43, well, then we could suddenly see it down here in the region around. And let's just add a horizontal line just to have an idea in the region around 96, 60, 70 right there. And let's just put it also at the spike down there to 96.37, maybe even lower. I think we'll head in that direction eventually. Moving on to the gold and silver spot that has bounced overnight after bouncing from the 50%. It couldn't follow through. It looked like that yesterday when we talked, but now bouncing and could bounce further. Testing the lower part of the cloud and the 38.2 retracement, still negative sentiment, still bearish trend, and we have the 55 pushing lower here. But a correction is not a big surprise. It could correct all the way up to the 61.8 retracement there at 4,742, but we have the 21 moving average coming, kind of putting a lid on it there. 46.95, 96 could also be the destination before resuming downtrend. I think it will eventually, because we have really strong resistance up in the area between 48.40 and 48.90. The silver also a bit of a bounce, obviously, and let's just zoom in here. Bounce from It actually was below the 55 the 50 retracement, sorry, to just above the $70, and then it has bounced a little bit, but also here overhead resistance. I think we could see it towards 78.40, but then it could again slide back. We are below the cloud, we are below the 55 moving average, we are below the 100. Yes, it is rising, but it is slowly turning around. There still negative sentiment on the RSI, but keep an eye on this peak up there at 77. If it takes out that, well, maybe there could be energy up to the 786 retracement and the 100 moving average here around 80 spot 40.45. Looking at yields or interest rates and the US 10-year sitting back there from the 4.45, and then we can again add a Fibonacci to right. Are we having a very short-term correction, maybe down to the 4.31, and this is what I think is interesting, and we should sometimes have a look at the bigger picture. It's forming this big triangle-like pattern here, and it needs to break out eventually, but it can take some time before it does it. I think it will be to the upper side, unfortunately, and then there's certainly room up to 475, 480, but we need confirmation, and we have this strong resistance up here at 448, but we are above the cloud on the weekly, we are in a positive sentiment, and we are above all moving averages, and that indicates higher levels on the US 10-year Treasury yields. European Treasury yields, and let's remove this one there, knocking on the door on the resistance there at 313, still in a little bit sliding back a little bit, but in bigger picture we are basically still range bound up to 313 and down to around 290. Just open here in Europe this morning, a little bit lower, but let's see where we will end the next few days. We can see the lows here are higher and higher, so I think we will have a break higher eventually. The UK 10 key resistance there at 512, that still should be observed. Japanese really not doing much, basically unchanged here the past few days. There has also been a bank holiday. I'm not quite sure if there's still a bank holiday today. I think there is. It's been a long weekend for the Japanese people, but still in a bullish trend towards higher levels. On the crypto, well, we have Bitcoin slowly crawling higher above the or just around the rising trend line here in this rising channel. Could push to the 83,462, which is 61.8 retracement of this sell-off there, and could also eye 90,000. Will it get up there? Possibly, but let's see. The Ethereum trying to catch up, but really not doing much. Key resistance 24.66. All right, that's all for today on FX yields and cryptos, and I threw in the Retest zone and Retest metals too. Have a nice day and keep charting out there.